Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Bros Think Big podcast. This is a show where we talk about the simple and yet complicated ideas of self-improvement. Tune in and join us as we become the best versions of ourselves, just so that you guys can too. And always remember to like and subscribe for more. Today we're going to be talking about fucking your emotions, not literally. However, before I even actually talk to you guys, I want to ask the audience a question directly. And I want you to imagine a scenario in your head where you just founded a company and you guys are bringing in 7 figures yearly, which is some great shit, right? And then all of a sudden your buddy comes up to you and he says, listen, bro, I just got kicked out. I'm really looking for a job, and I was wondering if I could come work with you. So you give him that role, and then all is good until time flies by, and all of a sudden you realize that your buddy, someone that used to be your best friend, is unproductive. They're sloppy. They're almost like a cancer to your company. What do you do in that scenario? Do you just immediately cut them off? Or do you let them stay because they're your best friend, right? Now, a lot of people would say that, oh, well, they're my best friend. I wouldn't want to cut them out. On the surface level, actually, a lot of people are going to say, no, obviously I have to cut them out. But I feel it's a lot harder to actually do that shit in person. Now, what I want to do is I want to actually talk about fucking your emotions, because this isn't some like we're masculine Andrew Tate shit where we mean like
that you don't have emotions or anything like
we
that.
We don't feel anything.
Emotions are important.
No, exactly. Emotions are very important. They can be used as a great tool that can speedrun your success, I would argue.
I want to briefly speak on the significance of emotions, which is
emotions
do tell you what you care about, who you care about. When you're emotional towards somebody, it's a sign. On the surface level, it is very difficult to see when what you care about. Like, it's hard to think about this stuff, but emotions are a perfect representation of this is what you care about. If you get upset after, let's just say, you lost a game, you care about your sport, and this is referring to a sport, obviously. But emotions are very powerful, and you can't just ignore them. That's not the message we're here to say. It's rather embrace them, but don't let them be your downfall, which is why we're going to cover like specific ways on how to prevent that, and stories where it did fuck us over, and stories where we
don't let the emotions control you.
Exactly.
Control the emotions.
Exactly. So that core essence of stoicism right there. So I'm going to just straight up jump into my first story, and I'm going to give you guys an example of when I actually got fucked because I felt bad for my buddy, right? And this was like, it's crazy too, because people don't think this is so serious, but it can be such a basic example, just as the one I'm about to give you. AP Psychology, senior year of high school, right? We're almost done the year, and I was really close to finishing with an A. It's a group project, just a group of 2. Everyone loves that side. So me and my buddy, we worked on this project together. And the thing is, going into this, I know that my buddy is practically failing this class. He doesn't do any schoolwork. He goes on his computer and he grinds. On his he focuses on his craft, nothing with the actual school though. Right. And I'm someone that actually gave a fuck about my grades when it came to this, because I wanted to, just to make sure that I had the good looking form on the report card.
You loved school.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And I knew that going into this project, I was gonna have to do the heavy load. I was okay with that, right? But I didn't realize that I was gonna have to do 100% of it. However, once I came to this realization that I did have to do 100% of it, I still couldn't follow through with that. I told my buddy, no, it's fine. I didn't want to kick him out because I felt bad for him in a way. I almost didn't want to like alienate him to do it by himself just because I felt bad. And what's crazy to think is I was actually doing him a disservice by doing that too, because that's me telling him that, yo, you need to do this. No, maybe AP Psychology won't be useful to him, but you need to have that type of work ethic, and you have to have that understanding that I need to be able to do this shit by myself. If it comes
also telling him it's okay not to do anything.
It's not even that. It's the sake of being a team player, in my opinion, with something like that. For you to be in a team and just fucking not do your part, that's a disrespect.
Yeah, imagine the question that I brought up to the audience earlier. You're the boss. That's literally leadership is about being a team player and knowing how to lead the team, right? Can you really cooperate with that if you can't even do your part of the job? No, not really. There's a lot that goes into it. But why I love that story is it can really be something just as basic as this. And I fucked myself in that scenario. I put more pressure and more work onto myself just because I let those emotions take care of me, take control of me.
What happened? You guys get a good grade? Did you clutch?
Always.
Yeah?
Always.
Let's go.
I was a serious guy. Well, ChatGPT clutched, but it counts.
For the team, you got it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to share my story, I guess, next, because the fact that you brought that up is just so similar to what I had to do recently. As some of you guys know, I have a detailing business. So pretty much, my friend didn't have a job at the time, actually lost his job too, and he was just calling me and telling me that's when we kind of started to get close too. He would call me and tell me, oh, like I applied to these jobs, I'm not getting any response back, whatever. Kind of stressed, so I was like, plus that was the time when Georgie was gone, and I had nobody to work with me, so I was like, I'm gonna offer him a job, and
For the audience, Georgie is his brother.
but yeah, in case you guys didn't know, and I offered him a job. He came with me. He worked with me. All that kind of stuff. I taught him a lot of things. There were some things that he couldn't do. Um, there was some times that he wasn't trying. All that kind of stuff. And in the back of my mind, I knew that part of him wasn't trying. But then I also gave him space to be like, okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But, it got to the point where the business wasn't moving forward. It was also around the time it was winter, so it was harder for me to really see why the business wasn't doing good. And I had to tell myself that at the end of the day, I started the business from zero, ground zero. So I had to understand that I am responsible for the business. And when I'm responsible for the business, I better take it seriously. If the employee, let's say, doesn't want to take the business seriously, it is disrespect to the business and to me as well. So I had to kind of, and I guess what helped me to get over the emotions is the fact that I know what kind of person I am. I'm trying to help somebody. I'm trying to really influence somebody in a positive way and teach them things. But then when I see that it doesn't happen as it should over the time and they're not taking it seriously, it's just easier to let go of the emotions. But at the end of the day, it really just comes down to being a leader and saying, because one of the rules as a lifeguard too, even, which is saving people, the whole role is if they're sinking you have a choice to make. You can either drown with them or let them go. And in this case, it's really like that, because when you pay them hourly, you pay them for what they do. They're there, and especially with this business, dude, like I had to focus on getting 2-3 cars in a day. And if we're moving slow, I'm only getting 1 car in a day when I have an opportunity to 2-3 cars. And how I know this better is because the business partner that I have now, shout out to Ruslan, is we do 2-3 cars in a day.
Far
sometimes.
more effective.
Exactly, far more effective. So it was also around the same time when he also came in, and it was 3 of us, and just kind of seeing how we all 3 worked, and especially seeing how he worked. So it's like when you see that difference, it's also a wake up call for the other person. When you let them go, they understand that I wasn't competent enough. I wasn't doing what the other person is doing, and they tend to take it more seriously. That whatever I don't take seriously, I lose it. So I better take it seriously. And it was, me and him speak. We're on good terms actually. Nothing bad and stuff, because I explained to him what it was, and he also told me that he got comfortable in the business. He didn't think I was gonna let him go. That was one of the things that really got to him. That he said he didn't think I was gonna let him go, and then when I did, he was surprised. But at the end of the day, that's really just what it comes down to. You gotta make hard decisions, but sometimes those hard decisions can be the best for the other person as well. So
I have 2 things I want to say, and the first one is that
that was a long start.
no, but it's great, and I love the fact that once you did cut them off, when you force them into a position like that, they are now forced to answer the question. Okay, it's my wake up call. Do I want to become competent and actually do something about this? Yes or no, right? And how they go about that answer to that question is what determines. Okay, will I become successful? Will I bounce back from rock bottom, or will I want to just continue to sink deeper and deeper and to see how low I can go, right? So it's a great thing that you force them in that scenario. That's like being success almost comes from dissatisfaction in a way. That's when you decide you need to make a change. You getting them rid of them, you force them to answer the question, okay, do I want to make that change? And I also love the lifeguard analogy, because I didn't even know that was a rule, to be honest. Like, if someone's starting to drown you, you gotta go. You gotta let them go.
That's actual like rule almost.
And no, that makes sense. I know lifeguards are trained to the most capability to the point where that won't come into scenario. But of course, there are some people that
It
really
happens
don't know
more
how to
often
swim.
than you think, because when people tend to panic, that's what they do. They grab onto you, and
yeah.
obviously there are some ways that they can do. One of them is like you have to knock them out.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's not possible and you can't do it, you really just have to let them go. Otherwise, it really becomes a choice of your life and
And then you
their
just
life,
drown
so.
them with it. Yeah, and that's a great point to it too. Like, am I gonna keep the business running, or am I just gonna sink it
Right.
down?
Because I have ambitions with the business, right? I want to grow the business. I want to grow the business and make it successful, not just for myself, but also my family and stuff. So when it comes to that serious stuff, you got to let go of the emotions, because how I'm thinking about my family and my business is not how other people in the business that clearly don't do what they're supposed to do, let's say, or don't try that much, don't look at it like that. So it's a hard thing to do, but you really have to detach your friendship and your emotions when you have a business, especially the business that you're really trying to grow.
Yeah.
Very well said.
No, I think when you were talking about that, Sadul, and you as well, it's like I can only just imagine that when you have someone in your business, it's almost like your higher self and your lower self. It's like your lower self will always keep you down, and like, because that's the emotional side of you, right? It's the child in you. And in order to keep the business running, you kind of have to sometimes, put a line and boundaries between you and your younger self, or not your younger self, your lower self, the emotional side of yourself.
Exactly.
Same with the other business partners and stuff like that. It's the same thing applies, like with yourself, with other people.
Exactly.
With
It's not an
emotions.
easy thing to do, but I feel like the faster you master it, the better it is. Like you really just need to. And to be honest, like this is the concept that I couldn't really understand to the deepest until it happened to me and I had to make a decision. Now I really understand what they mean when they say like, oh, what friends can do in a business, or bringing in emotions in the business, and what it can do is, that's why it's not for everybody. Some people really just are not able to make such decisions, at least to a lot of pressure, and you have to take that pressure.
Yeah. Very well said.
I think people really need to know more that they don't need to be victims to their emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they can act outside of it, and it's easier said than done, of course. But people don't have the awareness or the clarity to actually wake up and be like, wait, just because I feel like this doesn't mean I have to act like this. I can actually act in a different type of way. Feelings are like the ebbs and flows of life. You're always gonna feel either good or bad. Like, it's you can't always, because feelings and emotions are uncertain. You can't really control them, and trying to control your emotions is like trying to catch the clouds or some shit. It's trying to like chase after the clouds up in the sky.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work out. You can't control your emotions, and so what you have to do with knowing that is, like you said, they tie into something deeper than just an emotion. There's a reason why you feel a certain emotion at a certain point in your life. It's a good way to. It's like a key to like your own self, right? So
Bing, bing, bing.
instead of looking at these emotions like you can control them and like trying to just be all chaotic, like use them to your advantage. When you feel a certain way about something, have that self-awareness to be like, okay, I'm feeling this, why? And this goes back to another reason why. Like, find your reason why you even want to cut off the emotions in the first place. Like you said about your business, like you're doing this for like your family or your business, like you yourself. There's a reason why that you are able to cut off your emotions for a good reason and act
Exactly.
rationally. And if you don't have a good reason, then of course you're not going to do things, right? Of course
Exactly.
you're not going to detach yourself easily.
And one more thing I wanted to mention is, I think it's very important that, whatever happens in the business, especially with friends, you end it with good terms by explaining. Like how I had to explain it to him was, it's a detailing business. There's a lot of business in the world. Just because you're not able to do this does not mean that you're necessarily, not going to be good in business, or not going to be good at everything. Everything needs its own skill, and it just turns out that you're not this person. So I told him that because I'm letting go of you from this job does not mean that, you should tell yourself that, you're nobody and you're never going to do something. It simply just means that this wasn't your craft, but good try. Go and find something that will bring you more fulfillment, and you will be able to like it. Because the reason why you weren't becoming good at it and weren't learning like the basic things is because it just shows the lack of care towards it. And when you have a lack of care towards something, you don't tend to improve. But when you find something that you like doing, you find a lot of ways to improve in it, because you also have the vision and the goals close to another person, especially the one you're working with. Because the employee does good, so does the business. The business does good, so does the employee. So it's really like a two-way street.
And people like to cram their emotions like back down into the back of their brain. But what you actually need to do is feel through them. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. And like the whole education system's like based around just like shoving information in ourselves and like regurgitating it out. But they don't teach us about how to actually deal with our emotions and stuff. Like no one teaches us that at all.
Combat
all the way,
the emotions.
And then they spit us out of high school and like all of a sudden we're filled with anxiety with this big world that we have to conquer. And it's just like, it doesn't work out like that. You know what I mean? We have to actually learn how to balance our emotions, have emotional intelligence to understand what emotions mean what and how to actually cut them off and move forward. You know what I mean?
That's exactly why people react badly in certain scenarios. Like, what if someone's being bullied and they'll resort to punching them in the face because, oh, all of a sudden my feelings are hurt or whatever, and now I feel upset. Okay, your emotion got control of you. You don't know how to react in that scenario, so you just resort to the first thing. Oh, I need to defend myself. Instinct, right? And you do it by force sometimes. It's like how you and Georgie explained what happened with you when you came into America.
Right.
And then you guys were bullied, right?
Yeah.
And then the first thing you resorted to, survival instinct, self-defense. But unfortunately, you didn't know how to express it with words, so you expressed it with fists.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, maybe
But
it's
it shows
not
lack
okay.
of control, lack
Yeah.
of emotional control.
Like theoretically.
And when we learned that, right, we were able to combat the emotions. Like they say, a bully tells you something that is offensive and stuff. You're able to combat that and let it go rather than take a hit and then react back to it.
Yeah.
Like almost dodge the bullets.
Yeah, like what should have been done is you should have ignored it in the first place. And if it kept on nagging you, don't go tell the teacher. Then use your fist. That's a different story.
You know, I'm thinking, don't you think emotions low-key are like, it's like a game of chess in terms of, it's matters of patterns. Because
Patterns?
if you think about it, your emotions come from certain patterns you do. I was thinking about it. Because I'm going to share a little briefly. I was thinking about, because I think acknowledgement, again, that comes with everything, but first step is always acknowledgement of your emotions in this matters. And I was thinking about it another time where it happened is yesterday, Sasha's fucking punching around, doing his stupid shit that he always does. Not stupid, but his shit. And he punched me in the face. Not like seriously or anything. You hit me. You remember this.
Gently.
No, that
I
stung.
tapped
That
you in
stung.
the face.
No,
He
there's
just couldn't
something-
take it, right?
Sasha won.
Yeah.
Something that if you know about me, is I hate getting, and Sasha knows this, I hate getting hit in the face with a genuine, no matter, I don't know what, I always have an emotion, have anger from when I get hit in the face, no matter what happens, no matter what situation. And it's not until I knew this happened that I was able to control it, because before then I would start punching Sash, because back then when I was a little kid, again, I couldn't control my emotions as well, but we would start fighting when he would punch me. I couldn't, it's a lack of emotional intelligence, yes, but it was more of not knowing that what the fuck I was doing, like why. Now, it's a whole different story. What happened, he punched me, I got mad immediately, as it happens like this. I can't fucking snap to this day. One day I'll get it. One day I actually was
You
able
actually
to snap
can?
one. No, I can't snap. That's a different story. Excuse
We'll
me.
teach you it.
But the matter was, I just walked away. But that would have never happened unless I knew that I was gonna get angry. And why this whole thing's correlated is a matter of patterns. I am able to know that I get that emotion when I get hit in the face. So every time I get hit in the face, I know that emotion's gonna come.
Oh.
There's an extremely high likelihood of that occurring. Therefore, I know how to plan it better.
So get
And when I
prepared
say-
for it.
Exactly. And another emotion that a lot of men suffer with, and even women actually, women are more hornier than men, is pattern. When you're in your bed, what's going to happen? That emotion is way
I didn't know about the
likelier,
stats, but-
right? What? Yeah,
I didn't know
women are
about the
way
stats,
more
yeah.
hornier than men. That's a true thing. You'd be shocked. They just don't
Wow.
express it. You know.
Interesting.
Thanks for letting me know,
Guys
bro.
guys are horny dogs, but you would be surprised.
I don't know if they're hornier, but they're hornier than you.
No, they are.
Are they?
They are.
Yeah,
They are.
I don't know.
They are. But the
But
whole matter is,
yeah, yeah.
do you think it's a pattern game?
Because
Because I don't think emotions come out of the blue. It's
when I think of pattern
Yes,
game, I
it's
think
very
of cause and
interesting what you said.
effect, and if that's the case, then yes, like every action has its effect, right? There is also, well, first of all, what Josh doesn't know is that I actually purposefully hit him in the face to build a character. You're welcome. And look at this.
You just helped him.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't mention that he started hitting me first, which was fucked up. But anyways,
and you're in the face. But yeah,
he started hitting me first, bro.
Oh come on, you can take
Nah,
it. You're not
I'm
a bitch.
fucking. I'm fucking.
I know
You
are.
weren't.
I
You
know
were just
are.
stepping.
You couldn't
Whatever.
beat me.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
Guys, stop.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Anyways,
Fight.
no, see that right there? That was his emotions
Emotion.
kicking in. Not that was. I'm still building his character. Even just. Anyways, no, but I do think to a sense it is a pattern game. It's cause and effect. I mean, how you. Every single. I was actually watching this. Does everything happen for a reason versus free will debate? And like they were basically saying like there is no free will, whatever, right? Because every cause, or I don't know. It was pretty interesting. It's like these astrophysicists, whatever. And I didn't finish the whole thing, so I don't even have like a general conclusion. But it, like if it is the pattern game, then the idea would be it is cause and effect, in a way. I don't know, but then I like to believe that the free will is how you. I don't know. I do think it is a pattern game in a way, though.
If it
to
is,
answer your question.
I think that's another way is just like think of it as a chess game. You know, understand that when it's going to come out, because there's patterns to it of when your emotions will come out. It doesn't emotions? Correct me if I'm wrong, never just come out no reason. Like I said, emotions are extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Which we're all general consensus that something has to happen for you to have emotions. And if you can correlate a pattern of what happens before an emotion takes place, you can help combat it much more difficult than said, but that's a great start. It's like you say, you win the fuck the battle. What is it? I may have won the battle, but you're gonna win the war.
Yeah.
Like you lose the first couple battles, but
I will win the war, Josh.
you win the war by recognizing the pattern. Yeah.
Fricker, can you share your story? Because yours was different than mine, Sidul, as it wasn't involving someone.
Well, I think a lot of guys can relate to things like porn and stuff like that. Like lust is like a big. Would you guys call it an emotion? Lust.
Yes. It's a part of
It's a big emotion. Like I feel like a lot of guys are aware of what it feels like to be overcome by lust. It's like a veil. It's like a dark veil being pulled over you, and you get like sucked.
You know
into,
it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's happening. It's like something that you can be aware of. You know what I mean? And so like I remember even when I was like watching that stuff, like you could like I had the awareness to be like I know like when this happens, and I know what my triggers are that triggers me towards this here. But the thing is, a lot of guys, they are overcome by that strong emotion of lust, and I fell victim to this for like the longest time and stuff like that, and I really had to, because every single time it was like you'd relapse, you feel some shame, you relapse, you like feel like some negative emotion. It's like at some point, it's like you recognize the negative emotion, you're like, wow, it's like I'd rather never feel this again. You know what I mean? And so what you do is you try to just not do it. You know what I mean? Try to be busy, try to get rid of your triggers and stuff like that. Because like you said,
Shaping the environment, yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to your point, like an environment. Like you said it before the podcast, you gotta change your environment.
Yeah.
You can't like put like before you go to bed at night, when you're at nighttime, you can't be scrolling on TikTok looking for ass. You can't be have like your lights off and like you're just dark in your room, like in the corner, huddled up like a goblin. You can't be doing that.
Like a goblin.
If you do that, of course you're gonna relapse. You know what I mean?
Huddle up. What did you say?
You know what I mean?
Like a goblin?
Huddle up in the corner like a goblin.
This? What? Isn't that huddle?
Listen, bro, you know what I mean.
Can we pay him respect for being the only person that lasted in the?
Dude, my ankle.
Your beat.
My legs were getting numb. I'm sorry.
beat.
I was the first one to give in.
Oh my god! I tried moving my ankles.
My legs are actually getting.
You're
numb.
weak.
You're right. I lost.
Yeah. Josh lost.
All right. So you said environment. Kind of had an idea of how I wanted to present it, but kind of got ruined. But that's okay. That's okay.
You didn't flip out when he stole your
How
thing.
dare
but
you,
flipped
Mike?
out when I
Like,
said
how
adjust.
dare
I
you,
have
bro?
to
You
adjust.
just ruined his moment.
No.
Yo, just cut this part out. Cut this part out.
Restart.
But so I'm gonna share one time where I was able to conquer my emotion, and one time I succumbed to it. And then one I'm gonna start.
The only
with the one
time he was
that
able to.
succumbed-
It was just a mistake.
Let's go. So I succumbed today.
Today.
The only day.
Oh, sorry. So today's Sunday. We film on Sundays. I don't really deem it as a lazy day, but I came off a grueling day at work in terms of I was just in the sun. I think it's a natural thing when you're in the sun for a while, you just get tired.
Yeah.
Your body's just tired.
That's true.
So I woke up this
I
morning.
think it's just
and I was-
excuses.
Yeah, facts. That's exactly it. Excuse, but I woke up this morning. I was like, fuck. I wanted to sleep in. I was like, oh, Sunday, but I didn't. But then woke up. I'm like, and it just took me a while to get out of. I mean, I got out of bed immediately, but it took me forever to get out of my room. I was like, just on my phone, stalling everything, and it was because of my emotions. I was really just like, so I was allowing negative thoughts to. What happens with a lot of these emotions, especially your stories were with others. When it comes to yourself, what emotions do, especially the negative ones, is they influence negative thoughts into you. So I was thinking, it's okay. You get these thoughts of rather than thinking
Trying to
why
rationalize
why
your
then
bad habits.
exactly you rationalize your bad habits. So I succumbed to that, and that was in my room that whole time. I never left my room. The other story where I was able to conquer it is I have very bad allergies in terms of pollen. I have to cut wood for my house outside for a good maybe 3-4 hours, and touching trees all day.
You did it for one today, bitch.
Today. I'm talking about this story.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. This fucking bitch. Alright, so, what was I? Oh, yeah, so I was cutting wood for 3-4 hours, came home, I got back home, showered and everything, trying to prevent the pollen, but didn't work. Took allergy medicine, took 3 pills, nothing worked. I went to the library after for 3-4 hours, and I was just fucking miserable. I was dizzy, drowsy, that's the right word. Drowsy.
Should have done biohacking or something.
Facts.
Should have just took bee pollen and honey
Guys,
and royal jelly.
all this is excuses. God, fuck me.
Wait, did you actually ever try that though?
What?
Did you tell him about the bee?
I told him
pollen?
about it.
Honey?
He said, "Let me know how it works."
Josh
Wow.
takes
Be
pills
fine.
instead. Gets
Be
shit
fine.
on.
Okay. And I was able to conquer that and continue to push forward. I could have gone home, but I chose not to. And with both those are stories. What I was going to do is pause the video and think about what's the difference between the two stories. But you already know what the difference is. Environment. And I think that's a pivotal. The number one, I think we all mutual consensus, which is your why. But number two, I think, maybe not number two, but a very pivotal one in terms of many scenarios is your environment, where you put yourself into. You are in that bed, and you're horny, right? Get the fuck out of your room. Just first thing, you have that emotion, you have that urge, just get out of your room. Because I promise you're not going to fucking wank off outside your room. Again, can't promise anything, but the likelihood of that happening is like 30 times
You
less.
never know with these
What?
people, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's 30 times less when you don't have the accessibility of that. And the powerful thing about the library is I was in a setting where everybody's working hard. So in that environment, what's going to happen? I'm not going to allow my emotions to. The idea that these people are here working hard and I'm just either bitching doesn't fit well for me. And that was the difference between the two stories. So try to find again. That was only 2 different scenarios, but in
Almost
any
like a
scenario,
distraction,
right, too. Find a way to look at the environment and get in one that really pushes you forward, or at least the complete opposite of what you're feeling if it's a negative emotion.
No, that is so true.
Well,
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fair. Like,
give me another situation.
with what?
Just give me a situation.
About what?
I don't know.
Well, no, I want to start like, dude, yes, environment is everything, and I love that. I also want to talk about like
Masculinity, stoicism.
yeah, because I want to. You mentioned the why earlier, and I'm going to take a dive into that. But before I do, I also want to say that I love how we actually shared our stories. This is a way for the audience to resonate to us, because even though where we are right now, it's fair to assume that we have a better understanding of what it really looks like to control your emotions. But past experiences, you with your porn addiction, me not knowing how to do it, and then you
Mine
two.
was fucking today.
Yeah, like this shit just fucking happens, right? All the
Always,
time.
yeah.
And that's fine. Okay, as long as you learn from it and you acknowledge it, you learn from it. That is completely normal. It's part of being
I ain't gonna let him
human.
fucking win.
Yeah, that's what.
My inner
That's the
bitch won.
mindset.
Mhm.
My inner bitch
It
won.
is. It is. Now, why do people necessarily come into like? Let's talk about why this even happens in the first place. And I was thinking about it, like one of the core essences to success is delaying gratification, essentially. And gratification is what makes you feel good, right? Like when your story specifically, you would look at that point of it. You're cuddled up like a little goblin, as you say, and then you have that your browser is right next to you, like accessibility. We mentioned this a lot in the past.
Well,
before.
hold on. What is watching porn? Watching porn is just a symptom of feeling a certain thing to cope, right?
Yeah.
It all comes back to coping as well too, because it isn't just like if you're bored and you're like you just have this pain of being in boredom. You can do a lot of things. You can either escape into your phone, you can watch porn, you can escape into video games, you can escape into something. You can just do something. It's coping, right? You're coping in a bad way. But the reason that people they do those types of things in the first place is because they don't know how to feel through the emotions.
Yeah, Because those things that you just mentioned, like what I was trying to build up to, is that they make them feel good. Scrolling is addictive, porn is addictive, and addictive stuff that make you feel good. That's exactly what the whole thing is, right? That's the whole idea of gratification. Now, the core essence of success, one of delaying gratification, because those things that you know are not good for you, they don't push you forward. However, you let it take over. Why? Because that's what you think in the moment will feel good. I
The
argue
strong emotion, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the emotion telling yes, we should do this. It's gonna make me happy. It's gonna make me feel good. Whatever, right? It's bullshit. Realistically, it's all bullshit. I think it's I don't I think I don't, yes, I did stutter because I don't even have words for it in the first place. No, but seriously, it's retarded.
Dude, no, dude, I like where you were going with it. I don't know why you let him just kind of.
It's hard for
Distract
me to
the
word
point.
these type of things because like
Oh no, he's gonna point out my breathing. I'm gonna point out when he's doing a flaw.
no, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair game.
Anyways,
But I like where you're going with it because, you know, what's so interesting about those type of stuff is whenever you are succumbing to the instant gratification, you always know that if you delay it, it's always better. But the thing is, you know, it still comes down to your mentality. You're letting the emotions take in because you're weak mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not able to really understand deep to its core that, you know, you don't need that. You need something else. You need to delay it because you got to have the strong why. Like everything just ties in together to the point where you got to have a little bit of everything, a little bit of every single skill to be able to combat the emotion. You can't just have one and like the others and, you know, combat it. You have to have all those skills to be able to. It's like a bunch of bullets being thrown at you, like different reasons on why you should succumb to that emotion, meaning rationalizing it. And when you have different tools to combat it, you know, you cut one bullet, two, three, four, and then eventually you get through and you keep going. So you got to have different tools.
That is good, and I love how you mentioned the fact that people know that this isn't what they should follow through with, and they know it's wrong, and yet they still follow through with it. That's how strong the emotion is, which is insane.
You know the emotion I conquered? Desserts.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tell them about it.
Well, I don't eat desserts. I mean, simple as that. But, I mean, for me, what's really worked is just one motto. And it's not a motto, it's way deeper than that. But the motto itself is success over sugar. And it's a sake that anytime I look at a dessert, I see it's the concept. It's similar to the FT event. It's the pain of hating the way I look is worse than the pain of, or how do I put it in a different way?
The pain of wanting to eat it, but you
It's
can't.
not pain. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
The desire, you're the
Well,
feeling too.
yeah.
You want to
Yeah,
crave
the desire to eat that is not worse than the desire I want for a better body because I hate the way I look, and that's really what's pushed me forward. It's you, in a way, it's like you have to realize how passionate are you towards something. If you really are passionate towards it, it's way easier to beat that emotion. That's why some people are so good in certain situations. Like, why is someone so good at business and not so good with relationships when it comes to emotions? Why? Because they're passionate about, let's say, their relationship, but not passionate about the business. And that's going to play a big factor in terms of whether or not you're going to succumb to the emotions.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? In my eyes, this is exactly why you guys said what you said earlier with how it's important to use these emotions to your advantage. Because when it comes down to it, what is stronger? You feel your feeling towards wanting to become the best version of yourself, or your feeling to give into this dessert with all the sugar into it, right?
Fuck my inner
And a
bitch.
lot of people will understand that deep down, this is stronger. But in the moment, they let this take over instead. Hence, them not being able to delay gratification. That's how you use the emotions as a weapon. That's how you were describing earlier, to use it as a tool, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dive into that.
Well, when I was really saying using it as a tool, it was really an element of understanding who you are, which also helps with figuring out your why, which also helps with what you want to do in life. And like I said, you have to be passionate towards something in order. Your likelihood of beating an emotion, a lot of times, is your passion towards something. What's stronger? And what happens with a lot of people is, when I'm going to speak on the FTE real briefly, is people know what the better decision for them in terms of You have to do this, but they are so reluctant of doing so, and they'll continue to be reluctant until the pain of staying where they are is worse than the pain of doing the thing that they're so reluctant about. And that correlates a lot with emotions, because I really fucking lost my train of thought. I ain't
Well,
gonna
let
lie.
me ask you
I
something.
really ain't gonna. I'm gonna lie.
Well, let me
I
ask you
lost my
something.
train
All
of
right.
thought. God, fuck me.
It's okay.
I know,
I lost
I know.
mine earlier, but let me ask you something.
Yeah.
The red pill community and social media taught me that I should not show emotion at all, right? Keep it hidden, because that's what being a masculine man
So that's
is,
where
you
you're
know.
trying to go, yeah.
Tell me, what do you think, what do you see about that? That's wrong.
What's wrong about it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so you want to go there. Yeah. There's a very big misconception about masculinity, which is the opposite of femininity. That's how you put it, right? Well, it is
It is
technically.
No,
No.
Masculinity
It's
is not the opposite.
Yes. So
It's the opposite
there's a
of boyish
connotation.
immaturity.
I don't know if it came from the red pill community, but it's very common nowadays where you're supposed to show no emotions. You're not supposed to ask people for
Be
help.
mysterious.
Be mysterious. Don't ask anyone for help. Be a
Batman.
lone wolf. Exactly. Nobody needs to know what you're doing. Don't ask people for their opinions. Just do it.
Don't ask anybody for help. You have to do it by yourself.
Exactly. Well, quite frankly, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Start off, but why should you express your emotions? Why should you ask for help? Well, this is a matter of masculinity, but us as men, it's like stress. You can't remove stress completely. It's intertwined into you. So why try to defend it? Like you saying with the clouds, why try to fight the clouds? It is a part of you. You're not going to let it, no matter how stoic mindset you will have, emotions will still come into you. So the concept is you really have to focus on trying to conquer it. You know what? I'm just going to shut up. I'm just going to shut up. You're trying to...
Well, no, but realistically, what you're saying is right. and
How'd
I
you
don't know.
stop?
I don't
Dude,
know.
he was-
you were
yeah, he was
cooking.
going-
You were cooking.
I didn't know where I want to go.
Well, one
Yeah,
thing
please
that you
finish.
said earlier,
Please finish.
which was great, is that I don't know if this was off camera or not, but you. It's okay, bro. One thing that you said off camera, keep your chin up.
Your emotions are getting to you, bro.
Oh shoot! Your emotions are getting.
to
Yeah.
you right now.
not my emotion.
Are you here?
Looks like it is.
No, it's going to help motivate me. Trust me.
What is gonna motivate you?
What? Push myself forward. I'm not
Get your head out your shirt, bro.
No, it's going to help.
Chin up.
It's
Head
gonna
up.
Keep going.
All right, whatever. What I was trying to say earlier is that emotions are good. Like what I was getting at is I don't know if you said this off camera or it was on camera, but you mentioned that emotions show care. That's what you care about. That's what you really. That's how you express care in the first place. Was this off camera or on camera that you said?
It was off camera.
It was off.
Off
That's
camera.
then go into that. You know what you were talking about in that, or do you want to just continue to shut up?
You're telling me to tell. Right now. My mind's not in the right place.
Okay. I'm sorry. I wanted to give you a redemption shot, but I guess you don't
Thank
want
You
to.
know
That's right.
something I figured out. You know something I noticed about emotions too. It's like when you're in a low state of vibration, you're easily manipulated. You can get easily manipulated when you're in a low state of vibration or low emotion, because when you're in that low state, it's like since your rational mind is like kind of cut off from your rational mind's kind of cut off from your emotional side, the amygdala, the lizard brain of your mind, which is the emotional side of you. When it's cut off from that, you're in a primal state. You're in a fight or flight mode. So anything can kind of tick you off, or anything can kind of push you this way, push you that way,
Right.
out of fear, out of a place of I don't have, out of a place of survival. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much like a lot of people live in that type of states, and they kind of project that onto people in a way. Like, have you guys ever like you've took some shit personally from someone because they like? I mean, we've all taken shit personally from people,
Right.
right? We've taken some shit personally.
Insecurities.
Exactly, they hit our insecurities, but it's like sometimes people just project. It's not even about you; it's about them. You know what I mean? It's not even about you at all. Like a lot of people, when they project, like a normal, healthy human being wouldn't really project in a mean, intentional, like.
Way too like tip
To
them
hurt
off
you.
and- yeah, exactly.
This
to hurt
is,
them.
dude.
But they would come out like if someone was a healthy human being, yeah, they'd call you out, but in a healthy kind of growth type of way. You can kind of know the difference, right, as you go about life. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of people, like you said, are reactive. They fall victim to their emotions. They say things just like because it's in like they shove it back in their subconscious mind. And they just say things because they have like trauma. They have some bullshit going on in their mind, so they just project it on other people. So anyone who's out there like who thinks this person's mad at them or this person pissed them off, it's like don't take shit personally from people who are dealing with their own shit. Right?
'Cause sometimes it's not about you. It's more about them.
It really isn't about you, and like sometimes you cannot take things to heart, because if you took everything to heart what people projected, it's like you will be a miserable person.
Mhm.
You're trying to control the situation.
At that point, you're just living for others and not for yourself. Like, when are you gonna wake up and realize that it's your life?
Yeah, it's almost like we say like fuck your emotions, like fuck other people's emotions in that sense, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah,
you don't take a negative projection
Mhm.
of people. You know what I mean?
And this is what you were saying off camera to us earlier, that it's not even your, like, these thoughts that you're having are practically
Not all your
are-
thoughts are yours.
No, oh
Not
yeah,
your
yeah.
thoughts.
You were saying that, and it's because they're being influenced by someone else's. Because someone else calls you out for this, you start to have that. It's like the seed being planted in the back of your mind, and that's what starts to kill you. Because you decided to take it personally. You didn't know how to react to the situation, and you let your emotions take it over you. Now that seed's back there, and it's gonna become like cancer, like a virus. It's gonna start to spread.
Yeah, there's a difference between an intuitive thought and an intrusive thought. An intrusive thought will always make you have anxiety, depressed, get you like in your fight or flight mode. But an intuitive thought is silent. It's calm. It gives you clarity. Like you can kind of when you build self awareness. Something that you can do to build awareness is to meditate, but every single day. But other than that, like just to have the awareness that whatever type of thought that you have in your mind, look at those thoughts like objectively and think, okay, is this thought really rational? Is this thought really probable? Why am I thinking this, right? And you might not even be thinking it. It might just pop up, like, because a lot of people, they think that their thoughts are them. A lot of thoughts are not even yours. Some of them are, some of them are not.
Sometimes it can just be so random, dude. Like I'm doing one thing and I think about the other. Like,
You think about
Where
a
did
fucking
it
show
come from?
we watched last week. I'm like, bro, get out of my brain.
but when you say intuitive thought is calm and all that kind of stuff, like, what are you referring to? Like,
So-
give an example.
Like our second brain is in our gut. It's like our instincts. It's
Right.
like something instinctual that we see. Like our intuitive thoughts will not try to predict the future. They'll try to predict the now. Like not predict the now, but know the now.
Rather react to what's been given.
No,
to you.
rather proact than react.
Proact. Okay.
Yeah.
Why so?
For acting instead of like reacting. That makes sense. Does that
So they will try to react to now. What do you mean by that?
be proactive? Being
Proactive.
proactive means like being prepared to act.
Okay.
And then reacting is just it's like a negative type of
Instinct.
thing. Not negative type of
So
thing,
reacting in a defensive way, and then proactive meaning like you're looking at it.
Proactive.
You are able to look at it from a different perspective, and be able to combat the emotion. Yeah.
Reactive is in a situation occurring and you then putting the thought. Rather proactive is you put in the thought and then the situation occurs.
Okay. That's
be
a good
prepared,
one.
kind of.
Yeah.
Mm.
So let me ask you guys this: how did you even come about controlling your emotions or being well reacted in certain scenarios?
You gotta meditate every single day for the rest of your life.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Because if you meditate every single day, you build this like awareness of, you get to see that you are just kind of like an observer. You're not really the thoughts that you have, those stream of thoughts that you have in your mind and stuff. It's like you're observing the person breathing. You're observing the person who's in this world. It's like reality kind of gets trippy when you go deep into meditation, but meditate every single day for the rest of your life. And I'm telling you, a lot of the brain fog will go away. More clarity will come to you, and you'll be more present. You can be able to kind of dissect thoughts and break them down without having to write them down or without having a fucking therapist. You know what I mean? So meditate every single day. That's what my advice.
Okay. No.
When
no.
you realize that you need to meditate to
I've,
with
like,
emotions.
I realized that after like doing it for like a while, and then not doing it for a while.
Okay.
The difference between not doing it and doing it, like the months I wouldn't do it, I noticed that like I'm more reactive. I see a thought and like I kind of just let it consume me.
Okay.
It's just a kind of self-awareness I've built up. If I don't meditate for like a week, I kind of see
You're
a
not
little bit of a
self-aware.
difference. But if I meditate for 10 minutes every single day, it's like, wow, that kind of brings like
Clarity.
a mind of clarity. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Hits
Yeah.
me with clarity.
Okay. That's interesting. What would you guys say?
I'd probably go with don't meditate. So I find
My
myself
advice isn't to
more-
meditate, bro. Contradict
I
what this guy
find
said.
myself, I find myself more reactive, more, mentally there when I don't meditate. No, fuck. For me, it'd probably be figure out. I'm very passionate about this, which is just figuring out what drives you. Ask yourself, what is it that gets you going every single day? Because there is something, or else you would fucking kill yourself. Like, as deep as that
Extreme that
sounds,
may sound.
that's true. There's a reason why you wake up every morning and do something.
There's a reason why people kill themselves.
What?
There's a reason why people kill themselves too.
Yeah. What are you trying to say?
No, I'm just
Yeah.
saying. It's like you said, you gotta have a reason, or you'll kill yourself. You mean?
And
the reason
people
why-
killed themselves is because they didn't have anything to look for.
Is that what you said?
He's
No,
saying
It's like
point.
people have a reason that they kill themselves.
but
That's the point.
the people.
Figure out the reason why you live. Like why you wake up every morning.
Well, no,
and
but what
actually
he
do it.
said only backed up what you said. Because you said that
No,
if
but
you don't have
if-
a reason to wake up, you'll kill yourself. He said
Oh,
people
that's
kill
true,
themselves
actually.
for a reason. That reason being they don't have anything to. They don't have that reason.
What this guy said.
Yeah, I was
So
kind of
that's an
confused myself
extremely
too.
tough thing to find what drives you. But the second you do, it really does help you push forward all those negative emotions, and then motivation eventually dies out, and that's really what's going to push you over the top. Understand what it is, figure it out, because if you don't, you're going to live. You're walking through life as a spectator.
Aimlessly, almost, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna give a different advice, even though I do agree with both of them. I don't want to have to, elaborate on both of them. But I would say also be able to run different scenarios in your head, being able to understand how things will turn out if you let the emotion take over, and then also kind of understand and reflect on what would happen if you let the emotions go. Because obviously we all have situations where if we let the emotions take over, certain thing happens. If we let the emotions go, a different thing happens. So being aware of those moments and then being able to play that back when it occurs again, you automatically know what to do with it.
I love that. We actually didn't even touch that. Play both paths
Yeah,
of you
Yeah.
succumbing to emotion and not.
there's a good way. And
That's a very, very.
the under like you both used the word that, and that's my answer: awareness, being self-aware, and more so knowing who you really are. Someone came up to me and said, I think you're a fucking loser." I'm not gonna let it affect me. I know I'm not a loser. I know who I am. They don't
Right.
know who I am. I'm self-aware, and the actions that I do, they don't know who I am.
Right.
Because I know who I am, because I'm self-aware, I don't care for it. I'm not gonna become reactive. I'm not gonna
That's
let
awesome.
that emotion. That's how I look at it. You guys heard me say this a million times, but it's the same analogy where I say, imagine you're walking down the street and someone says, "Oh, that blue hair is disgusting." I know I don't have blue hair, so I wouldn't care for it. Why should it be any different, right? I know who I am, and I'm not gonna let somebody else try to tell me something that I'm not.
Exactly. Yeah,
Another
that's true.
brief story made me think of it. Woman asked me after I lost my weight, going from fat to abs. Not fat, but pretty bloated.
Flabs to abs.
Flabs to abs, sure. Says, why you do this? What makes you go to the gym out? And I was like, because I could see that she was
You.
struggling with motivation to come to the gym. And the matter was, well, I asked, why do you go to the gym? She couldn't give me a straight answer. She didn't know why. Who's more inclined to surpass the emotion that, not today, I don't feel like it? The person that doesn't know why they're going to the gym, or the person that knows exactly why they're going to the gym? Think about it.
Bro tested their fruits.
Why do you go to the gym?
Don't have to know that answer. I know for myself.
All right,
That's a
bro.
good way to tell you to go fuck yourself. Yeah,
Dude,
right.
I'm clearly being masculine right now.
You got no more
No,
business.
yeah, why do I answer it?
People,
What?
people might want to know what was your
why?
answer that was so different from
No,
everybody
if
else.
you stay
Maybe
silent, you're masculine, Josh. You
Why?
can't give that up.
Don't let
Why-
people know what you're doing.
or just say none of your
I
business.
mean, it aligns with my purpose. I'll put it that way.
So how's
What
your
What is your
purpose?
purpose?
There's
briefly? What is your purpose and how does that
there's
align with
nothing I
your
enjoy
purpose?
more than beating the person I was the day before. Just getting better. Something, whatever it is.
Why do you
that-
want to be him?
Why do I want to be him?
Be-
Because I hate doing nothing. I hate losing.
Why?
That's because it was inherited in me,
I mean, yeah,
and
who
I was
hates
able to
losing,
use it
right?
to my advantage.
I mean, who hates
No, we're
losing,
just trying to dissect
know,
like
of
the
course,
thoughts and
of
stuff.
course,
That's how they
yeah.
should do it as well.
That's
Keep
what I should-
asking yourself until you hit like
Keep asking questions.
until you hit
Come
like
on.
the jackpot.
Keep
The-
asking me questions.
All right, why?
Can you-
Why was it
you're
inherited
projecting
in
right
you,
now.
Josh?
Oh, no,
Bro got
not the why.
emotional.
No, you asked me to do it. I'm doing
Yeah.
it. Why? Yeah.
Why
Now
what?
what, bitch?
Why
Why is it inherited to you?
Because I'm special.
Why
Why are you special?
Because I'm God's creation.
Why?
Fair enough, bro.
I'll stop it there. That's good.
Fair enough, bro.
Yeah. I won. I won.
Alright, whatever. Does anyone have any? I think we broke it down pretty well.
Yeah,
To be
yeah. I
honest.
think it was a good episode.
I think it was like a nail in the coffin. Yeah.
What did we
Anyways.
know?
I'm thinking if we have anything else.
Like there were
We
holes.
went
and
over
we
how, why.
What?
We
like-
wanted to know why, how, when.
Let's ask ourselves, guys.
When.
Would anybody still have any questions? If somebody was listening to us, would they have questions?
Yeah.
Something we didn't.
I was not acting emotional.
Steps?
I did the
Maybe
thing.
the steps.
I just want to openly state that.
That's cap. You totally were.
No. I immediately thought, why did I stop?
What were you feeling
did I
in
learn?
that moment?
What was I?
What were
No,
you feeling?
I genuinely did not. I was not upset.
You felt nothing.
No, I was trying to motivate myself.
Then you felt nothing, which is why you put your head.
No,
in your
what I
shirt
felt was,
and
why the hell
you
did this
curled
happen?
up like a little
No,
goblin.
Yeah. I asked myself, why the hell did this happen? How can I prevent it?
That wasn't very logical. of
bro,
you.
was
I'm a
reflecting.
very open person. I'm not gonna think to myself. I'm not like the typical masculine guy. Keep it to myself. You know, just express my emotions for the good.
What
of
is
it.
it?
I think you could be more open.
What?
I feel like you could be more open.
Probably. Yeah. I wouldn't disagree.
I think
feel
one
like
more
you
thing.
needed,
One,
like animals.
Why?
Why?
I think one more thing I would probably mention is, practicing, like controlling the emotions in terms of like if there's an emotion, just sometimes go against it just for the sake of winning over that emotion. You know what I mean?
Win,
Because if
win,
you
win,
let
win,
the
win.
exactly if you let the emotions win, they will win. But if
You're a
you're
loser.
if you're the guy that wins over the emotions, you already become the person that is able to see emotions and dodge some of them and just be able to just combat them. So
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, just we
I have
went over
one
this a lot
last
of times,
analogy.
challenging your beliefs.
One last analogy that made me think of another one is think about the person that you want to become in 5 years. What would he do differently than
there
who
you go.
you are at the moment? And if that emotion you're thinking about succumbing to, if that's one that you want that person 5 years from who you are to do, start now. Stop waiting.
exactly, earn some respect for yourself, because if you don't
Exactly.
respect for yourself, I mean, how are you even gonna tell yourself I'm not gonna let the emotion dictate what I do?
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
If you don't have belief in yourself that you are able to combat the emotion in the first place.
Believe in yourself.
Let's run up this quote of the day.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Who got rid of the F? Why is it a T now?
I did, guys.
Quote of
It's supposed to be a
the
quote of the day, not quote of.
fucking
Quote
day.
of fucking day.
If you start believing in your greatness, it is the death of your creativity. This is by Marina Abramovic.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Abramovich. Abramovich.
Bro.
Abramovich?
Oh my god, how American are you?
I was
That
just
was
gonna say,
really American.
such an American way to
He
say
just
that.
doesn't watch soccer.
That was
he just
really
doesn't watch
American,
soccer.
no.
Yeah, exactly. You would know.
And I should have told it from the first name too, Marina. Yikes.
Abramovich.
Abramovich, yeah.
Did you say Movic?
I said Movic.
And he said Abramovic. Abra.
Shit. Shit. The first name was a dead giveaway too, but whatever.
It is a great quote. It really is.
You break it
because-
down for me then.
No, I don't break it
Abramo-
down. I mean, very, very briefly. Just it's a matter of egoness. Oh my god, that's not even a word. Matter of ego. The second that you start believing that you are all that everything is because of you and not because of probability. I mean, luck and time. It's the death of your creativity, because you have to understand that you can always do better. And if you are full of yourself, it's impossible to do.
Exactly. You have to imagine yourself that your cup's still
Mm-hmm.
empty and you need to fill it. If you think your cup's full, why would you be pouring more water? So that's how you have to envision
It's a great
yourself.
analogy. And you're good with analogies, man.
Yeah.
I need to think.
Thank you.
I need to. I don't know how that happens, but I want to work on that.
Read more books.
Facts.
You don't read books.
I was just gonna. Why don't you read books?
Let's tell the podcast. I bought Sasha a book for Christmas, and it's been in the same fucking spot every
collecting
single
dust,
Sunday.
bro. Behind the camera.
Since
Stocks.
I'm just saying, bro.
Listen, no.
Don't-
I'm really
dude.
grateful. I am grateful. Don't get the wrong idea. Just because I didn't pick up the
You,
book
you
yet.
better be, bro. It's been collecting dust
You
over
ain't
there. I see the
grateful,
fucking
bro.
dust.
What do you?
Have you read a
I'm
page?
so grateful.
Have
Don't
you
tell
read a
no one to
page?
read a book ever.
Have you read a page?
I have. Yeah. It goes over the cup if you guys know what that is.
I'm gonna call him out in front of everyone, bro.
And by all means, however, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not disgrateful. What if I told you that doesn't align with my purpose? Would I be such an asshole because I didn't want to read it because it doesn't align with my purpose? Because I don't trade stocks, I trade futures.
You do you, bro.
Okay.
But that's the thing. You gave him advice to read a book. You're not reading a book.
No,
How do you know reading a book is good?
I've heard it from multiple people, and I knew I should. I don't
Yeah.
even meditate either. I think I'm gonna
You should
start
read a book, right?
I should.
Guys,
Why?
next
Why?
Sunday.
Going to. Not should. Are you going to? Answer the question.
I'm putting it off. Listen, I'm putting it off
Why?
until I master trading.
Why?
That's why. Because right now my priority is mastering trading.
Okay.
Sash, how about next Sunday you're gonna tell them that you read at least a page of something?
I won't be here next
No,
Sunday.
no.
Let's go!
Oh,
I got out of it.
Just open the book. Just put the book in a different place.
I
At
did.
least.
What is the cup? What is the cup?
What?
Market maker model. It's the cup. The cup is in there. But you wouldn't know because you haven't even picked up a book. A page is in. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You haven't picked that book up?
Why would I? I gave it to you.
No, you didn't. That's a lie. Prove it.
Anyways, let's go. Shut
Girls
up.
gaslighting.
Why?
Why? Yeah.
Why?
Shout out. I want to see the guy with glasses fist bump with everyone.
Why? No.
Let's go. Oh yeah, actually, why did they want to see that?
Listen, I don't know why you
Come
did,
here.
but it's
Why the guy
I'm
with
not- no.
by
Here comes-
Polksizik.
This guy wants it.
Polksizik.
Okay.
Probably
Give it to
somebody
him then.
from Europe
What?
or something.
He wants it. Give it to him.
I'm right here.
So am I.
All right. All right.
Who's gonna win?
I'm sorry.
Whose ego's gonna win?
I'm just.
Let's go,
I'm
Sash.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. You're a fucking bitch. Just because you can't move over a little bit. God damn. You were not gonna do it.
Yo, isn't it crazy? We
Did you see
share a
the
quarter of
emotions
the
right
day.
there? Did you see the emotions right there? Racist voice called me aggressively a bitch.
How is that voice racist?
I raised your voice.
Oh, I thought you said racist voice.
Yeah, that too, bro.
Oh shit! Alright, my bad.
That
See,
was a
he had
racist
this-
voice, bro.
He had this emotion that he correlated a normal word into a bad word.
Polksiak, thank you for the comment. It's a lot better than the feet
Polksiak,
comments
yeah.
that we keep getting, and I appreciate it. Matter of fact, if you stay to the end of this video, why don't you comment down a topic that you want to hear us talk about in the future?
Yeah, man. We also did a poll. We'd love to. We already have a good amount of votes, but we'd love to have more.
Exactly.
Yeah,
More
let's-
votes. More votes.
And if you do comment that down, you will see the guy with the glasses fist bump everyone twice next time.
Oh shit! That's.
You know,
a
I'm
lot.
actually
You gotta
interested.
live up.
I also want to ask you guys a question. How come people that you guys don't want to hear about fitness? Like, I'm actually a genuine question. I'm actually surprised.
Here's a better question: why the fuck do you guys keep commenting about our feet? Like,
Oh, that's another question.
yeah, I really.
What is up
don't-
with the feet?
Can I block those comments?
Guys, that is actually one of the ways why we started sitting
Here's a
like
third
that.
question.
Yo, respect to him. He still has one leg up.
Here's
I
a,
think
Hang in
Mike's
there.
Japanese.
here's
Oh,
a
no.
third question.
Hang
If
in there.
this video did help you somehow, some way, share it to somebody else because
There you
it
go.
might help them.
Exactly.
Why aren't you doing it? No
Yeah.
pressure.
Guys,
Their-
check
their
out our
emotions are
personal
getting to
brands,
them.
too. Guys, check out our personal brands. Officially, all four of us.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, shit. Time flies.
All right. With
That
that,
being
Yeah.
said,
think
Think
big,
big,
grow
grow
big. Peace.